Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad from Poisonpoprocks.com, and I'm joined again by my buddy...
Sardonic Pickle, a.k.a. Dave.
Okay, excellent. And today, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Fire and Ice.
Yes, we are. We're talking about a fantasy movie called Fire and Ice.
Because it's Fantasy Month.
It is Fantasy Month. And yes. Yes, you're correct. For those of you who know, who watch Continue, it's their Fantasy Month.
Yeah. A shout out to the Continue guys.
They don't need a shout out from us. But shout out to Continue.
Yeah.
Very good. It is also Zelda month as well. PBG.
Shout out to PBG.
PBG. PeanutButter Gamer.
Gotta help them along.
Yep.
Yeah.
We gotta get them all the views they need.
Yeah.
Go to normalboost.com.
Check them out.
Yeah, check them out. They're worth looking at.
Especially JonTron.
Yeah.
I like JonTron.
Yeah, I like JonTron.
Yeah.
You know, I like them all.
Okay. Alright.
So where was I going? Yeah, it's also Zelda month, which is kind of fantasy.
It is?
Zelda's totally fantasy.
It's not as fantasy as Final Fantasy, though.
Final Fantasy is more sci-fi, I think. I was thinking about this earlier today.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking it is fantasy because there's a lot of fantasy in it.
Yeah.
But I guess the older ones were more fantasy.
Yeah.
The new ones kind of step into the
Yeah.
they're a bit more sci-fantasy.
Sci-fantasy.
Ah.
Sci-fantasy. Sci-fantasy. Sorry.
Yes, very sci-fantasy indeed.
Okay.
So where was I going with that? So for Fantasy Month, sorry about that, we kind of harmonised that. So for Fantasy Month,
Yep.
we're doing a
Fantasy.
we're doing a fantasy. We're
Thing.
going to talk about a fantasy movie.
Yeah.
This one, dude, I got to give another shout out
Yeah.
to Dominic Moschetti and Josh Henderson. They have a podcast called Fantasy Fiction, and if you like some fantasy, go check them out. They write stories for each other, and they talk about them. And no, they talk about they tell the stories that they wrote, and they are fantasy stories, and they are badass. And the reason I'm talking about Fire and Ice is because I'm a huge fan, and Dominic Moschetti recommended that I check this movie out when I asked him what I should talk about.
Thank you, Dom.
Dominic Moschetti.
The Dominator.
Check out Fantasy Fiction. So he said watch Fire and Ice. He also recommended the Conan movies, which I've already seen and like to talk about sometime. Maybe not on this, but I love Conan. And
Conan O'Brien.
No, Conan the Barbarian.
The Barbarian.
The Barbarian.
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 Yeah.
Barbarian.
Yeah.
Yes.
The barber. The barber.
Ah, he's a barbarian.
Yeah.
His name's Ian, and he's a barber.
He can cut my hair any day. Ah!
What does that mean?
I don't.
Is that a...
No.
Okay.
It's not a thing.
Okay, you just cut your hair?
Yeah.
Well, Conan had long hair, so
He did have long hair.
I doubt he has a barber.
Not as long as Bayonetta.
This is true. Well, he maybe... Oh, no, that wouldn't make sense. Because he doesn't wear much clothing, so
Yeah.
maybe he would have more hair. He would have less hair if he had more clothing.
A shout out to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Shout out to Arnie.
Yeah.
He was Conan.
Yeah.
He was also in Kindergarten Cop. Also a good fantasy.
Put the cookie down!
Don't you eat my cookies? Classic Arnie.
Yeah.
I do a terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation. But that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
This isn't
Okay.
impersonation cast, okay?
Okay.
This is... I don't know what it is.
We call it a bog cast.
No, we called the last one a bogcast
Yeah,
because it was
what's
about Battle of Gods, B-O-G.
I didn't even think of
You
that.
didn't think...
I was thinking bog as in swamp.
Why'd you think I said bog? Because Battle of Gods.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So, last week we talked about Dragon Ball, which is something I'm passionate about, and something he's not passionate about. So today we're talking about fantasy, something I'm passionate about, and something he's not passionate about. It's not very one-sided at all.
I'm passionate about fantasy games.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
He plays a lot of games.
I do.
I play
I have a
a lot of
problem.
movies.
Yeah.
Pressing play on the movies. So there you go.
Your passion doesn't really entail doing anything. It's just watching.
No, but I'm always judging.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to find something bad about something.
Jesus.
And I don't like it.
Yeah.
I want to just enjoy a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I want to watch Pacific Rim and say, this is an action-packed thrill ride that is moving me emotionally.
Yeah,
but instead, I'm sitting there going, this is garbage because of this, and this, and this.
Yes, fair enough.
So, it's hard work for me, man. It's
It
hard
must
work
be,
to just sit down and just watch something.
I understand.
I have to use my eye muscles.
Your eye muscle.
And my ear muscles.
And your ear muscle.
And sometimes my cheek muscles.
And your cheek muscle.
When I smile and
when you smile
frown.
and or frown.
Exactly.
Don't frown, Miss Brown.
Okay.
We had a German teacher in high school called Miss Brown. She was really she wasn't German, but she taught German.
Okay.
But she was really tall and she had big calves. But anyway, that has nothing to do with it. But she was really tall.
Okay.
And I kept making this joke for like 5 years, pretty much my high school.
Yeah.
Get down, Miss Brown. I am. Like she's in war, and get down.
Oh right.
I am. Because even when she's ducking, she's still tall.
Oh, she's a very tall person.
I am.
I'm sure she loved that joke. I'm sure every time you said it, she said, "Wow, you were my favorite student. So clever."
But she was pretty cool because she let us watch The Simpsons every Friday instead of doing anything.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
So what have you been up to this week?
Pretty much the same as last week.
Yeah, and I mean, we watched Fire and Ice since then.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How's your movies coming?
Pretty good. Making progress. Making progress. Yeah, it should be out pretty soon. Yeah.
So chances are, if anyone is into fantasy, they would know Fire and Ice. Am I correct?
Yes.
Not always, but a lot of people have seen Fire and Ice.
I thought you were like not always correct.
What?
You said, "Am I correct?" And then you're like, "Not always."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am always correct.
No.
What? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Okay. So today we're going to talk about what is your connection to fantasy? Do you like?
Well, it started off when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And I got into porn. And
not that kind of fantasy. Not fantasies.
Yeah.
Fantasy is in orcs, goblins.
Ew, what kind of fantasy are you in?
Witches, elves, hobbits. Not necessarily
whatever, man,
hobbits.
Whatever, I'm not judging.
Dragons.
Alright. Okay. It started off with World of Warcraft for me.
Yeah, me too.
It sounds really cliche and stupid.
I was really into WoW too.
Yeah. So, I really
didn't know you play WoW.
I did, yeah.
Why did you join my guild?
Because I didn't know you.
I had a guild called Destroyer of Worlds, so it'd say my name, Destroyer of Worlds. Find it. It's on the Proudmoore server.
I don't play anymore.
I'm saying it so that people can go to
them.
Proudmoore.
I thought you're looking at me while saying that.
What am I
look at them.
Every time you say look at them, I look at the monitor as if they're there, looking back at me like I'm a dickhead.
Just stare at them.
Hey people, can you feel my eyes?
Because that really hurts.
Anyways,
stop feeling my eyes.
What server did you play on?
Oh God, here we go. Oh no.
PvP?
It was a PvE. It was a PvE because I'm a wussy. I'm a wussy puss.
Little girl.
Yeah. Guess what my name was?
What was your name?
Davidio. Like David I.O. Davidio. I was a dwarf hunter.
Right.
I got up to level 80. Hey.
I got to 85.
Wow.
I was a night elf. It's coming. Hunter.
Oh.
I always chose Hunter because I always like collecting pets.
Yeah, me too.
And I would just spend.
I feel like playing now.
It's a yeah.
Every time I talk about it's like Minecraft. Every time I talk about Minecraft or WoW, I just want to buy it.
Yeah, but no, I spent probably years of my life just farming rare pets, just like waiting for them to appear.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, Night Elf Hunter. Name Rendezvous. That was my name. Yeah, that was my main, and then I had a bunch of non-mains. I had a blood elf called Ice Tongue. She was a frost mage.
Okay.
I had a dwarf, like a hunter again, called Silverbeard. It's pretty bad.
I thought you were going to say Silverbeard.
Silverbeard? What?
Nutritious.
Okay.
I had a pig named Sweeney. I got him. If you remember the starting area for dwarfs.
Of course.
just before you get to Ironforge, there's like all these. I forgot what they. Oh, Scar Crag Boars.
Crag Boars.
Yeah, but
Okay.
they're like called Scar Crag.
Okay.
They're like a greyish sort of pig. I got him my first pet, and I had him up to level 80. And like I went into dungeons and stuff, you know, like, oh, why'd you get a stupid Scar Crag Boar? I've got a fucking, you know, spider or whatever. And I was like, hey, I've had him since. He's a boss, and he was boss. His name's Sweeney, and I had a tiger named Todd. Sweeney Todd.
You know, I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, no. And he was boss. His defense was just incredible.
You know, I bet
He was my tank.
it was.
Yeah.
You know,
It was awesome.
That's a great story about Sweeney.
Sweeney
the pig.
Tiger the Todd. The other way around. Todd the tiger.
Todd the tiger.
Anyway, that's where my fantasy started. Well,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then, yeah.
What about movies and stuff? Obviously, everyone's seen Lord of the Rings. I'm
Yeah.
a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah, Frodo. I used to be called Frodo in high school. It was terrible.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Well, you're from New Zealand.
Yeah, I am from New Zealand.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a terrible accent.
It was.
My accent's gone, so.
Yes. It's been replaced with the Vulgan Australian.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
Yes.
I don't really. I've never really sought. There's a word for you.
Sort fantasy.
Sought fantasy.
Okay.
I appreciate it and I do like it, but I'm not. Once again, I'm not passionate about anything you talk about.
Well, I was kind of lying earlier. I'm not passionate about fantasy. I like fantasy. I really like fantasy.
Hmm.
I just think whenever you see a fantasy movie, you should really just harness it. Because there's not enough fantasy to go around these days. Like, no one's making
That's
fantasy
true.
anymore.
Yeah,
Apart
that's
from
true.
Lord of the Rings and all those, there's no fantasy anymore. Like,
No, Game
one-
of Thrones.
There's no fantasy anymore. I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I'm gonna say it. I haven't seen it, but I know what everyone's
You
talking
haven't
about.
seen Game.
I know. I haven't seen it because I don't know.
You've seen Fire and Ice, but you haven't seen Game of Thrones.
I've seen Fire and Ice, but I haven't seen Ice and Fire.
Yeah,
No, I haven't.
terrible human being.
You know, I guess I will. You know, I like a good fantasy. I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of Fire and Ice?
Oh god, it was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. from the beginning, it was
Okay.
absolutely ridiculous.
Really, why is that?
I've got notes.
What does your note say? It is ridiculous.
Yep. Alright, let's begin. Long ass beginning credits.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna agree with you there. I was watching the intro credits, and I was just enjoying the jam. I was just enjoying the song that was playing. I was like, you know what?
Wasn't it Jaws?
It sounded a lot. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, it was a lot like Jaws.
Terrible. That was another one of my notes.
Really?
Sounds like Jaws.
You wrote a note saying it sounds like.
It sounds like Jaws.
I thought. Yes, the credit sequence is too long, but I just embraced it. I was like, you know what? This is long, but it's like the music is getting me into the mood for fantasy.
Okay. No,
You didn't feel that. You were just like,
this is long.
hurry up.
Yeah. And well, I didn't write this down, but the beginning. Well, when I first, you know how it was getting into the lore and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I thought, oh god, I'm gonna have to listen to this. Like I thought it was going to be a lot to take in, you know, but it wasn't. So I'm happy about that.
Well, there you go.
That's good. Yes. I kind of tuned out like after the credits. I was just like, it was exhausting.
I just sit here and we'll look at a screen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
But okay, yeah, and then I got into that, the lore and all that stuff, and then there's just so many ass cracks. They're just.
What do you mean, ass
They
cracks?
love their butt shots. No one in this movie heard of clothes.
Dude, it was a fantasy. These were like goblin people
Yeah,
and like warriors.
like can make like a leaf skirt or
They did it. They had their loincloths.
Ugh.
Loincloths.
Yeah.
Back in those days,
Jeez.
they were worried about, am I going to get killed today? They weren't worried, what should I wear today?
Hmm.
This isn't
Hmm.
today.
Yeah.
Where we have the luxury of not having to slay lions for dinner every day.
Yeah, we just have the luxury of watching these kind of movies.
Exactly. So it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different for this guy.
Oh, God.
They had priorities.
Yeah.
Wearing clothing would restrict movement.
Yeah.
Would restrict spear throwing. Would restrict axing.
Yeah, but...
Do you... Okay. Hang on.
Alright.
I'm going to put a spoiler in here, so... Yes.
Yeah.
The dude that died... think about the dudes that died when the dude mind controlled them. Were they not wearing the most clothing?
Yeah!
Exactly. You wear clothing in this world, you die.
But 95% of it was ass crack.
Yeah, it was a decent amount, I will admit.
Yeah.
But...
I didn't mind the woman part, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
But, come on. It's fantasy. It's fantasy.
Yeah,
You
okay.
gotta take it all in.
Okay. Terrible animation.
Dude, this movie was made... When was this movie made?
83.
83. I actually really like... I like
It reminded me
that.
of He-Man,
This was before He-Man.
but it reminded me of that kind of drawing.
It's I like that you can tell it was drawn and someone had painted it.
I do like that.
And
Yeah.
it really, like, you could tell the background was, like, painted.
Yeah.
You could
It's
really...
like those old Disney movies that
Yeah.
actually had, like, drawing.
Yeah, it really felt good.
Authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it felt loved.
It felt like someone put a lot of
On
effort
ass
into
crack in it. Okay. You need to put a picture up on this next point.
Alright, I'll try.
Yeah,
if I can
okay.
get away with it, I'll
Alright,
put up a
okay.
picture.
They're running animation.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
It's absolutely ridiculous. What the hell is that?
I knew you were going to bring this up.
It's this stiff, like, run that they don't move their arms or shoulders. Just their legs. It's like a turkey. It's absolutely terrible.
Okay, let me remind you. Someone had to draw every single frame, right? This isn't modern day where we have like 60 frames per second, okay? Do you know how this guy had to sit down with a Nico, draw these people, paint in the gaps
Crack.
for every single frame? Do you really think he's going to be like, all right, let's make this 100 frames per second?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
He should have. He should have been the best he could be. He should have striven. That word. Strived.
Stripes?
Striven? Yearned.
Yeah.
For the best, whatever his name is, can be.
Kyle Sanders.
Carl Sanders. Really?
No, I just made that. I have no idea.
But he's definitely my idol right now. The animator.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You just said his work was terrible.
Oh.
And...
I want to make terrible animation. So I'm going to look after him. The running animation was terrible. When she was being kidnapped,
Yes.
it's the slow motion.
What? Would you not have had slow motion in that
Yes.
scene?
It's unnecessary.
Ah.
Yeah, that's the noise she made. Very poor acted.
See, the problem was, I think they were like, okay, she's gonna scream, obviously, because she's being taken.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be in slow motion, so we need you to scream in slow motion. And that was the direction they gave her, and she's like, it's slow. Yeah, that sounded like a slow motion.
I did have Dragon Ball Z. Back to Dragon Ball Z. Did that. 10 years later.
Oh, never seen the end of it.
Yeah, that was terrible.
You're the worst reviewer, worst judge. Yeah,
No, what?
that was terrible.
That was absolutely horrible. Blonde guys, the blonde guy, whatever his name
I don't
is.
know. Did they say his name?
They never said his name.
Okay.
So I'll just call him Rod Stewart.
He did not look like Rod Stewart.
He's got blonde hair.
Alright.
Alright, okay. His scream when he kills the wolves Do you remember? It was ridiculously high pitched.
Oh, when he was like running away, when he did the pole vault over the...
That was stupid.
Yes.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, is that him or like the wolves?
Yeah.
Like a wolf cub came in. I was like, ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very feminine. I think they accidentally got the files mixed up, and that was like a woman's scream from earlier. Yeah, and they're like, I just leave it.
Yeah, that was horrible.
I just want to say, in that scene, maybe I should explain what happened so they know what we're talking about.
That's a good idea.
In this particular scene, he picked up a spear. Oh, it was just a stick. No, it was a spear. It was a dude's spear. And he's running towards the wolves. And I thought, oh, he's going to do something epic and kill these wolves. But no, he pole vaults over them and just runs away. This big manly man's like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Bye. Just runs away.
Yeah.
I was like, he should have... I thought he was going to, like, pole vault and, like, kick them in the face and then, like, stab them and... You didn't get that impression? It was like he's going to do something epic?
I did.
And he just kind of...
No, I didn't actually, because nothing about this movie was epic. Or anything would have given me that idea that this was going to be good. This was going to be a good scene. Because it was in the middle of the movie, and by then I was just like, oh, this is crap.
That was nowhere near the middle.
I don't know, was it? Near the end.
It was like at the start.
No, it wasn't. Well, wasn't it? Was...
No, remember, he got away from the... Okay, the plot of this... for those of you who haven't seen it, the plot was there's. I should just explain the plot because people haven't seen this. Might not know what's on.
Yeah, plot is a very loose word here.
So this evil bad chick, she had a son. Was she like a queen or something?
Yeah, I think so.
She was the queen of the ice place, and she had a son and raised him to be the ultimate like sorcerer dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she trained him magic from young, like trained him to be a sorcerer, so that one day he could. He's basically spreading ice across the world, basically. So, just killing everyone their way. Mm-hmm. So he's spreading this ice around, so all the humans are forced to retreat to the south, which is where the hot fire place is. Mm-hmm. The something hold, fire hold.
Fire hold, yes.
Fire hold.
Okay.
And so there's this battle going on between her trolley goblin people and the humans. Mm-hmm. And so the main character is a dude with blonde hair who is one of the humans fighting. And while this is all going on, the Queen Lady sends one of her henchmen to go and kidnap the king of the fireplace's daughter. They do that, but she escapes. And so it's about her... Because earlier she was like, why do all the boys get to fight? I want to go out and fight. And her mother's like, no, you'll fucking die.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then it's about her realizing that I don't want to be out here fighting because people die.
Yeah.
And slowly realizing how cruel the world is. And so it's about her in the wilds and meeting this guy who was a warrior and them two on a quest. He's on a quest to return her to her father and also stop the bad guy. At this point in the movie, he hasn't met her yet, and he has... Yeah, at this point was when he had just gotten away from them at the start. He was running away from them.
Yeah. That's right, yeah, I remember now.
And then
and when he was eating them, that's when she...
Yeah, he was eating the wolves.
Yeah.
And then she came in and was
in her underwear.
That wasn't her underwear. That was just what she wore. Remember? She had a few sashes over that. But,
yeah, I'm not complaining.
Oh.
Hey, the guy, I'm complaining.
Can I just make a note here?
Sure.
When she was in the pool after being kidnapped, and the guys were standing around, she was like pretending to seduce them. Remember? She was like pretending to be sexy to get. Then she went under and swam away. Yeah. They would have totally just raped her. I'm gonna put it out there. There's no way they would have just.
Nah.
They're like savage goblin people.
I know.
Then again, perhaps a human woman to them would be like a goblin woman to us.
Yeah, and like,
I kind of want
but
that because there's no other women around. But
yeah, exactly.
yeah. Anyways,
if I was a goblin man, I'd take it.
If you were, how do you know what your mentality would be if you were a goblin man?
I am a goblin man.
I've seen some women that look like goblin women, and I've never been like, no, given the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess this is those back in those days where I guess there weren't many women in.
All clothes.
There were goblin women though. We did see them as they were going through. There were a couple of goblin women.
Yep.
Anyways, so he finds her, and they have a journey together. And there's also this awesome manly dude who...
Batman.
Dude! Okay, I first saw him and I was like, it's Space Ghost. Because it looks like Space Ghost. But in, like, old days.
Yeah.
Olden days.
Yeah.
But then as I saw him, I was like, dude, that's totally Batman. That is Batman.
Yeah, put a picture up for those YouTube videos.
Oh, I'll try.
Yeah.
If I can.
Yeah.
Batman. Bam.
Batman.
So, he joins the dude when they get separated from the chick. They get separated from the chick, remember? Remember the chick, they get beat up?
Yep.
Then the chick gets taken to that witch's house.
Yeah.
That was a cool scene.
And she comes back as a skeleton.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I like that. You didn't.
Her
I can
hair
tell by
was-
your face.
Her hair was still there.
Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't it have burnt as well?
Shut up. That was fantasy as hell, man. I liked it.
Yeah.
She's a witch. How do you know she wasn't like, I'm gonna
Preserve my
put
hair,
a
and not the
spell
rest
on
of my
this part
body.
of my hair?
Not the rest of my body.
Well, anyways.
Woman.
So
That's
they get separated. He find and then him and the manly dude, aka Batman. No one says any names, have you?
Yeah, I know.
Didn't have names.
I only knew her name and Necron.
Come to think of it, there wasn't much talking in it.
No.
Yeah, it was very, very quiet. I guess that's where a lot of his charm came in, I think.
Really?
No, because you look at Lord of the Rings, there's just so much talking.
Yeah.
And this one was just like actions. Actions say more. We're running. Someone died. I put an axe in someone's chest and there was no blood. That's what this one
So
said.
much ass, though. It's just too much nakedness.
You're just not used to fantasy, I don't think.
I'm not used to fantasy.
Well, I guess that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
I didn't know that was fantasy. I thought fantasy was like Lord of the Rings.
It was Lord of the Rings.
You don't see Frodo with a freaking underwear.
That's because he's a hobbit. Look at the, like the orcs and stuff. They all had loincloths.
Yeah, because they're bad guys. Bad guys are supposed to wear that sort of stuff.
But like barbarians, people that just travel the land killing things.
Hmm.
Do you think they have time for clothes?
Yeah.
Alright, never mind then. I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Alright, what other notes have you got down there, my friend?
Okay. What's that word?
I don't know, you
Oh. When Tigra?
Tigra? Oh yeah,
The
it was
girl?
Tigra.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right. Her name was Tigra.
Yeah, when she was all, peace is the way, peace, Necron. I offer peace.
Yeah.
And he comes up with this weird fucking laugh. It's just like...
That was pretty good.
It was just so long, drawn. And if I was there, I'd be like...
Dude, just,
what
we
are you-
get it.
What are you doing?
We get it. We get it. You're laughing at my plan. You know,
And then he kicked her, and it did nothing.
what do you expect?
It was just like kicked, and like her to fall down or something, but she kind of just spun around and just went...
Well... Yeah.
Yeah. And then when he was killing all those guys that you were mentioning before,
Yeah.
it was mind. What's the weird shaking?
They were trying to resist.
I'm shaking, guys. If you can't see it, but I'm shaking.
They were trying to resist him. They're like, oh, we can't.
That was stupid. That was really stupid.
What did you just be like? Oh, whatever.
Yes.
You don't think these warriors would like try and resist him? Be like, ugh. That's what made it so epic at the end when the good guy resisted it, and you're like, yeah. No.
No.
There is no winning with you. You're just like, no, it was just terrible. Nothing about it was good. Did you like anything about it?
Okay, let me think. No.
Nothing about it.
I liked some of the art. Like how it was hand drawn. That's about it.
That's it.
That's
The
all I
whole movie, you were just
Yeah.
in dread mode. Like, I have to sit through this.
Pretty much.
See, I watched the movie, then I told you to watch it because I was like, this is a good movie.
I thought this was going to be one of those. This is going to be good because it's bad.
No.
I didn't know you actually felt it was a good movie.
I really thought it was charming.
Okay.
I thought it was charming.
I thought I knew you, Brad.
Because it was a story about a dude
Questionable.
just trying to save the world
In his underpants.
in his underpants.
Oh, God.
It's not really underpants if you don't wear anything over them.
Yeah.
They're just pants.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so.
Yeah.
You didn't think it was cool
No.
when at the end he was like, "Oh, just mind control to stop you from attacking me," and he was like, "Whatever," and just hit him in the side with his axe.
No.
You didn't think that was
I didn't find that absolutely amazing.
You didn't think
I just thought it was just, yeah, cool. Where's the blood?
there was a little bit. I don't remember when, but I remember being like, "Oh, there's blood," because it was so like, "There's no blood in this."
Yeah, yeah.
What about?
And even when he killed him, Necron was still going for another 10 seconds.
Dude, that hurt.
Slow motion again. It's like slow motion just
And then
was
he
invented.
went, brought his axe up, and then brought it back down. That was cool.
Okay.
I believe it. And then his mom was like, "Ah!" I did this weird scream.
Yeah.
It was like almost like a yodel. Now that I think about it, that weird scream she did.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a lot like that. And then
I know what I did like about it.
yeah,
I've mentioned it before. The lady. The leading lady.
yeah, she was rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's hot.
All right. Not going to deny it. That's
No,
why she was
yeah.
drawn.
Yeah.
She was drawn this way.
Seriously, there's so much butt. There's just too much butt. Like, if it just felt like every opportunity to show their butt, they took it.
Like, this scene's alright, but can you turn them around
Yeah,
so we can see
yeah,
their butts?
exactly.
What?
But indeed,
But
yeah, that's all it was.
I think the whole time you were just blinded by the booty. Like, that's it. You were just concentrating too much on the butts that you couldn't see.
What, they're right in my face.
They're not in your face. They're like 8 feet in front of your face, depending on how close you sit to the TV.
Oh god.
I think I thought it was really good. I was like intrigued the whole way. I was like, how are they going to stop him? He's got mind control. He's got well, at least maybe not mind control, but like he can manipulate people's bodies. He's got this giant ice fortress and he can move ice. That's pretty cool. Like, how are they going to stop this guy? He's like a awesome dude.
Yeah.
One thing that I never got closure on.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, and brings the axe down,
Yeah.
kills the dude, and then the ice starts to tumble, the ground splits open, the woman falls in, so you assume she dies. And then it cuts to the blonde dude and the lady. They get on the dragon hawk and fly away.
Mm-hmm.
Everything crumbles. Does that mean badass dude who killed him died?
Yeah. Is there a fire and ice too?
Google that. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
But when he was like, this is something I was like, guys, when he was like, release the lava, and they let all the lava out, and it moved like water. It's like, lava's not that fast. You can't just like.
Yeah, that was.
Here's another thing. Release the lava and destroy whatever flora and fauna is left after the ice destroyed everything. What the?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, burn it all.
Yeah. What a stupid move.
Yeah, it's like, the guy's dead already, you don't have to release the lava. And then the lady's like, no, don't kill him. at the end, there's like a goblin dude left over, and main guy picks up a boulder and is about to smash him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not telling you, you've already seen it. I'm telling the microphone.
Yeah. Well, look at the people.
Okay. And he goes to drop the boulder on his head, and the lady's like, "No, it's over now. It's time for peace," or something like that.
Yeah.
And tell that to all the people that just got burnt up by lava. And that's pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kill this poor guy's entire race, and he's the last one left. Yeah. Don't smash the boulder on his head. Time for peace. Let's accept them into our world.
Oh, that's right, yeah. At the end. I remember now. Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just tuned out of it.
Yeah.
You're like, movies are close.
Yeah.
And then the ending credits, which... did you watch
Not
the
as
ending
long.
credits?
No.
Neither did I. Because I was like, movies over. I skipped through just in case, sometimes I put little bits in there.
Yeah. For those interested.
So, you didn't like the movie at all?
I did not like it.
Okay, everyone. I recommend everyone watch Fire and Ice.
I do not.
You do not.
I recommend you stay away.
What's his IMDb score? I'm just curious now. Can you Google that?
I can Google whatever you like.
Google Fire and Ice.
Not in images, though. Whoops.
I didn't mean to just break your desk. Just
Gregory.
ruining the canon.
I just looked up something funny. Sorry.
No,
guys.
Fire and Ice. Just type movie. Oh no, here it is. 1983. Look at that. 6.7 out of 10. That's more than half.
Good on him.
Click on it. Click on that. 1983.
That's still a shitty
Fire
score.
and Ice.
That's
6.7 out of 10.
Still pretty shitty.
Come on. Look at that cover art. Look at that cover art. Isn't that the best cover art you've ever seen? Doesn't that get you psyched to see a movie?
It's only the first time I haven't seen their ass crack.
Because they're all facing the camera?
Yeah.
No. There's a goblin.
Sake.
You thought you could escape it.
Yeah, so...
Hang on, scroll down. And there's the next thing we have to watch. Fritz the Cat. And the people who like this also liked. Okay, this is now a list of the next 6 weeks of this podcast. Fritz the Cat, American Pup. Does that say coonskin? Because that's, we can't talk about it. I can't even read that. The Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. We can talk about Lord of the Rings. You like Lord of the Rings?
I don't mind it.
It's fantasy.
Yeah.
You don't mind it?
No.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Did you watch The Hobbits?
No.
No? You should. They're pretty good. The only thing I don't like about The Hobbits... This is fantasy, which we can talk about, right? It's fantasy. It's, I was watching it, and I was like, this seems different to Lord of the Rings. I can't figure out why. And then I rewatched it again when the second one came out, so it was fresh. I was like, I know exactly why. After I finished watching the second one, it was so clear to me. Mm-hmm. It's like Lord of the Rings fused with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Really?
Just that silly overtone of just like, well, wacky situation.
Yeah.
How did we get in this position? It's just, It was like a Lord of the Rings Pirates movie. And I was like, I guess that's why I don't like it as much as the original Lord of the Rings, because it's like, we get it.
Yeah.
Unlikely situation, you get yourself stuck into it. But I liked it. The dragon's cool.
I haven't seen it, but I quite like the guy who plays Bilbo.
Yeah,
as an actor.
Yeah,
he's
he's a good actor.
Marlon Freeman.
He's good in everything.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been anything I liked. Have you seen, not fantasy, so I can't talk about it too much, but he was in, Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like it?
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. Have you seen The Office? The British Office?
You ask me this every single time we get
and
together.
I will until you watch it.
Okay, I will. I'll watch it. So.
Yeah. He's Tim in The Office.
Okay. He was also in Hot Fuzz.
Yes.
And he was in...
Love Actually.
I haven't seen Love Actually. I haven't seen Love, actually. See what I did there?
Yeah. You're a lonely man, aren't you?
Yeah. He was in World's End.
He was, yes.
I'm just going to name all the movies he's in. Who's your favourite actor?
Oh my god. That's a hard question.
Okay, who is one of your favourite actors?
Okay.
Let's narrow it down.
Alright, okay.
Well, not narrow, let's broaden it.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
The late Robin Williams.
Ah, yes, of course, of course.
Yes.
The Bicentennial Man.
Yes. Jim Carrey.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say... I mean, no.
I like his drama, right?
No, I love him. He's a cool guy. But he seems to play a lot of the same roles.
Yeah.
But I think that's just his thing. I mean, he's a cool guy. That's like saying I don't like Chris Rock because he's always the black stereotype.
Yeah.
That's what makes him Chris Rock. He's funny.
Exactly.
What
about you?
Bill Nye.
Oh, yeah. He's good.
Not the science guy, the actor guy.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
He's funny.
He's good in every single thing. The Boat That Rocked. You seen The Boat That Rocked? Yep. One of my favourite movies.
Another one, Philip Seymour Hoffman, of the same movie.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yep. It's a good man. Have you seen Almost Famous?
No.
Yeah, one of my favourite roles of his. He was a musical journalist, but I disagree with a lot of things he said in it. He said a line like, because I'm a huge Yes fan, and he said, he was talking about Yes's album Fragile, and he said, this took them however many hours, a whole album to say what the box top said in one song. And I was like, that's really cruel.
Yeah.
I love Yes. But, yeah, he's very...
I've never listened to Yes.
Really?
No.
Listen to the album Fragile. It's a good album.
Has a lot to do with fantasy, though.
Yes. Dude, my fantasy background, I listen to a lot of Dio and Black Sabbath. They sing about dragons and knights and wizards a lot.
Okay.
Elton John, Pinball Wizard, has the word wizard in it.
That was The Who.
Pinball Wizard?
Yeah.
It's Elton John.
Pretty sure that's The Who.
Pinball Wizard, it's got to be a twist. It's got such a supple wrist. Yeah, The Who had a song called Pinball Wizard, but search Elton John Pinball Wizard and you'll get another song called Pinball Wizard.
What?
Oh, The Who and Elton John did it. Okay.
Thank you.
Alright.
The Who?
Elton John.
The Who?
I love Mason Elton John.
Who? Doctor Who?
No, I haven't seen Doctor Who.
Have you seen Doctor what?
It's Doctor what?
I'm actually not into Doctor Who. Like, everybody is.
Yeah, everybody. I just haven't seen
tried it. I don't know where to start.
That's the reason I haven't seen it. I just have no idea where to start. It's the main reason I don't get into a lot of comics these days as well. It's like, this has been...
Yeah.
I don't know where to start.
I only just, like, read Batman and Spider-Man.
The only comics that I buy and have read, I have a lot of them, by the way. Not a lot. But,
Why'd you say a lot?
I'd say a lot.
Are you lying to me?
No. I'll show you.
Good.
Come to the house, I'll show you.
Come on.
I read The Tick. And the Tick spin-offs.
Yeah.
Like, Paul... no, what is it? I haven't read it in a long time. The Samurai, I think it's like Paul the Samurai, or something like that. He's just like this American dude who's a samurai.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Hmm.
It's really good.
Yep.
Lots of those little spin-off comics from The Tick.
Alright, what makes you tick?
That you
We're
don't
talking
like
about what
violence.
makes Brad tick here. If you just tuned in, I don't know why you just tuned in to the middle of the show, but...
Welcome back to What Makes Brad Tick.
And what makes him talk like a clock?
Really? Back to fantasy, because it's fantasy month. We're talking fantasy.
We're talking the swords and the orcs and the dwarves and the skorks. And the fire and the ice to the Shazam.
Yeah, so we talked about Fire and Ice.
Yay.
Um,
Yay. Ice cold.
You mentioned that you have played fantasy games.
Yes.
Was that exclusive to World of Warcraft?
No.
No? Okay.
Obviously, Elder Scrolls.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that... Oh, yeah, that's fantasy.
That's
yeah.
fantasy.
I've played a million hours of Oblivion. Not Oblivion. Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I love that game.
Mhm.
I love being able to shoot a dragon with an arrow and kill it and glitch the game because it doesn't register that it's dead because I shot it in one shot, and so it flies around for a little bit and then decides, oh, I'm dead, and it just falls on the ground. That's one of my favorite things.
Cool.
And I also like, I just say over dramatized things.
Yeah.
That I like in Skyrim.
I actually like Dragon's Dogma. Have you played that?
I haven't, but I've heard a lot about it. I watched a mate play it.
Just try it.
I'm just afraid of getting the ending. Remember I was telling you about the ending? Where a mate of mine was sexually assaulted by Caxton, the blacksmith.
Oh, God, that's horrible. When did that happen?
Well, apparently,
Does he need a therapist?
at the very end...
Are you okay?
At the very end, if you...
In the game?
in the game.
Oh, God.
At the very end, if you...
Let's say, what kind of world do we live in?
It's something like whoever you interacted with the most or something, they
Yeah.
come to help you at the end or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his was Caxton, and he mounted him when he was weakened on the ground. I hear this is a common thing that people have encountered.
In the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if some remind in the game,
Yeah,
I just want to make it clear.
Yeah.
If that's happened to you during Dragon's Dogma,
Yeah.
let me know
In the comments below.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
I can't help it, but every single fantasy game I do, I just like making the hottest chick. Like, I just like...
It's a human trait to want to look at attractive people.
Yeah.
There's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Well, that's why I hated Fire and Ice, because
You had to look at
cracks of men and goblin men.
Goblin.
Yeah.
Well, what fantasy do you like?
Movies or what?
Whatever.
I like getting lost in sort of like a big open world.
Yeah,
So, you know,
Well, yeah.
that's why I guess I don't really like. I do like fantasy movies, but I'm not as into them as fantasy games, because
That's fair enough.
in games you can explore and you can
Yeah, I guess.
explore your own way this world that they've created.
Well, it's a common thing in a lot of fantasy, like games and stuff, particularly RPGs, that there's your barbarian, there's a wizard, there's an archer, and there's a...
Rogue.
Yeah, there's a rogue, a thief, rogue. So that's, I don't know if it came from, but that was the theme in Conan. There was the barbarian, there was the thief, there was the archer, and there was the mage. Wait. Yeah. I was just trying to remember who they were. But yeah, so that's like a common thing, and that's what I like. I like having that. That's what I like about, like, I'm like a sucker for movies that have like the building of a team. Like everyone has their trait. Like I'm a sucker
like
for
a
that.
party sort of thing.
Yeah, like your party, but like any movie where they're like, we gotta make a team with the ultimate people. That's why, like the Avengers, but like more like that's why I liked the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which
Sean Connery.
Everybody
hated that. I haven't seen it, but
I loved it. I'll stand by it. It's a great movie, even though everyone hates it. But yeah, I'm just a sucker for people putting together a team.
Okay.
That's why I love the Avengers.
Yeah.
Well, they had.
They need Spider-Man.
Yeah, they do. Well, they had the Barbarian, the Hulk. They had their Archer, who was obviously Hawkeye. They had their Mage. I guess you could say that's Thor. He's just lightning.
Yeah.
The thief, I guess, would be Black Widow. And they've got their Iron Man, who was Tony Stark.
It's just Tony Stark.
Yeah.
His own class.
Exactly.
Of got a dwarven Tony Stark.
Oh yeah. See,
Yeah.
they all kind of do that. That's and it's also Zelda month,
It is Zelda month.
and Zelda is fantasy as hell.
Ish. Fantasy-ish.
No,
You don't get dwarves in Zelda.
no. The whole thing, see that you could tell it was going to be a fantasy game, but they're like, okay, orcs, Gorons, elves, Zoras. You got your like the little pixie people. They were the Kokiri, however you want to pronounce it.
Kokiri.
When I was a kid, I said Kokiri, and then it wasn't until very recently that I started calling it Kokiri because I figured that was a bit less stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry, no offense. If you say Kokiri, Kokiri sounds like what you cook with in the kitchen, like crockery. Or...
I used to be obsessed with Kokiris as a kid
Really?
when I was first playing Zelda. Yeah.
I was just wanting to get away from them the whole time.
Zelda just like drove me crazy.
Zelda?
Not the game, not Zelda.
Zelda drove
Yeah. Like, that was what ignited my gaming passion.
Yeah?
Zelda.
Yeah,
When I first saw Ocarina of Time, I was like, ah. And Kokiri, I used to be on the forums as Kokiri Kid.
Really?
Yeah. And then I just realized that backwards it's Dick Airy Cock. And I just couldn't get that out of my head, so I just cancelled Kokiri Kid.
Because everyone's going, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
You're name backwards.
It was Dick Harry Cock.
Alright.
Yeah. It sounded like Dick Harry Cock.
Dick Harry Cock. Okay. I can respect that.
Yeah.
No, I think... Yeah, no, I was obsessed with Ocarina of Time myself. Yeah, no. I don't think there was a kid in the 90s that didn't.
Yeah. I remember the Final Fantasy VII and the Ocarina of Time sort of battles you had with... Like, I was a big
kid.
Nintendo fanboy, so
course.
I was just like... the problem with being a Nintendo fanboy is... Like, I'm still a little bit now, but I was huge back in the GameCube days as well.
Yeah.
Like, it was horrible because I was one of those idiots that criticized Wind Waker before it came out. I was like, oh, it looks crap, to myself.
Yeah.
But then, like, when someone, like a PlayStation kid would go, well, we got, Final Fantasy and all this stuff, I'll be like, yeah, well, we got Metroid Prime. What about Zelda? What happened to Zelda? It's good, still.
Yeah.
It's
Doesn't look like a grown-up's game, though. But...
It was really hard to defend Nintendo back then. And it's like, it's kind of hard now. Like, if I cared enough, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
What people think. But, like, it's hard to defend the Wii U. Like...
Really? I find it...
I love the console.
Yeah.
But when people say...
It's harder to defend the Wii U than it was just 64 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can't really say, well, Nintendo still cares about the graphics and, all that sort of stuff. But I don't care about the graphics, but
Yeah,
I can't use that as an argument.
I was, yeah, no, I was always a Nintendo person. When I was really little, I had a Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Wait, it wasn't called the Genesis in Australia. Wait.
Master System?
Yeah, we had the Mega Drive and the Master System, and in America the Mega Drive was the Genesis. I call it the Genesis, I don't know why, but... Yeah. I had a Mega Drive, which for all our American fans means Genesis.
Yeah. All American fan.
All our me pretending to be an American. It's yeah, and we traded it. Well, we didn't trade it. We bought a 64, and then we gave our Genesis away.
Yeah.
And 64. I never played NES or SNES, but as soon as I was playing the 64, I was like, this is what gaming is.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, I played NES like when I was young, but it was more watching my brother play than actually getting into it. N64 started it, I think.
I had a mate who had a PS1.
Yeah.
And whenever I'd go to his place and he'd be like, check this out, I just didn't feel like I was having fun.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like it was like a chore. Like, everything was like, oh, I'm in a realistic world and I'm getting hit realistically. It was like, it felt like a chore to play, whereas with Nintendo, it was always, this is fun. Like, I'm having fun.
Don't want to stop.
Yeah. This plumber, even though his girlfriend's been kidnapped and stuff, he's still, yip, yahoo, yay! Yeah. He's not down in the dump. He's like having a grand old time about it. Like, I had a lot of fun. Yeah. Nintendo always felt fun.
But Zelda to me, like Zelda, just created that urge to explore. I think
Yeah.
it was just
Because they made it look open world,
yeah,
but it wasn't.
really.
Yeah. So you had the feel of an open world, but you weren't getting lost everywhere.
Yeah.
It was very guided, but it was
Yeah.
it was great.
I guess that's why I like fantasy games. Like,
Yeah.
especially nowadays, because they have the technology to
to
actually
expand
give you
it.
an open world. But at the same time, like, with open world fantasy games, they're still linear. Like,
In a way.
it's hard to describe. Like, Skyrim, you've got what the developers have to give you to. Oh, what am I trying to say? It's like modern games, like Skyrim. I should say Skyrim. The developers have given you, like, what you have to explore. Like, giving you.
Oh yeah.
You know,
They've given you
like
the world.
spoon fed it to you.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got this now available now to you, sort of thing. but this is all you can explore. But for me, as a child, like back in the 90s or 64, like Ocarina of Time, like I would wonder, like, what's behind those trees? You know, what's past those limits?
It's
sort of
because
thing.
now
you don't get that.
We
with
think like a
today's
developer.
games. Yeah,
I don't think it's so much the games. I think it's more so our mentality is different.
Yeah.
Like, because we know a formula of a game, we know there's no way a developer would put something beyond there because...
Yeah. It's a waste of space.
Exactly. But back in the day, it's like, I'm gonna try and get there.
Yeah. I'm gonna bash this tree with my sword for no reason. See what happens if I do it like 100 times.
Exactly.
And that's what I liked about Zelda. I still like about Zelda. It was like a recent, not recent, but I was playing Twilight Princess, and I just decided to be a kid again, you know, and just not do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it was pretty, simple thing happened to me. I decided to shoot an arrow into a tree.
Yeah.
And all these rupees came down. And I was just like, wow. You know, the Nintendo still give you that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For trying just random stuff.
Yeah. No,
I just think, fantasy games now, modern day fantasy, like Skyrim, they take themselves way too seriously.
I hear... Yeah, definitely. I hear a lot of good stuff about that Lord of the Rings game, where you go and hunt orcs and stuff.
As a PlayStation 2?
No, it's new.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
The one where they upgrade their ranks as you get beat. Like if they beat you, they get upgraded in ranks.
Shadows of Mordor or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, let's just call it that.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, but I think I'd get bored of the concept. Like, I get it, I'm just going out.
Yeah.
There's no real exploration.
And I'm scared, this is probably a discussion for another podcast, but I'm scared that it's just because I'm getting into adulthood. Well, I am an adult and nearly 30. But, I don't think like a child anymore. Yeah. But I'm trying to think of like a child, because it makes things more fun.
Yeah, definitely. And that's sort of, I don't know. I like fantasy because it is as far from now as possible. Like, if you want to be a barbarian and just go and be a barbarian, you can't do that now. But in the fantasy world, if you just want, I'm just going to take my sword, I'm just going to wander around. Yeah. You can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like back then. If you were like, I'm going to leave my wife, you just walked away. Now, if you're like, I want to leave my wife,
you got a lawsuit.
Yeah, you've got. They can just find you on Facebook.
Yeah,
you're like, he's at Costco today.
Yeah.
You can't be like, they can't just wake up and be like, he's gone forever. They can just be like, all right, I'll check his Facebook.
Exactly. It's so stupid. It's so boring.
Exactly. I want.
Imagine if fantasy had a GPS.
Exactly.
We need to find Necroth for some reason. It's a stupid movie, but we need to find Necroth in some weird plot hole place called Ice Keep or something, and then let's just put it on GPS.
On his Facebook, he said he was getting Hungry Jacks. That's Burger King for y'all Americans.
Yeah. For some reason we call it Hungry Jacks here.
Yeah, we call it Hungry Jacks.
Yeah. Something about Burger King was taken here, and they
really?
Yeah, something like that. They were gonna call it Burger King, but there was already a Burger King here, and they couldn't.
There's just one dude with a shop.
Yeah, it's just I refuse.
No. $1 billion corporation will not have my name.
What a dickhead.
Just like,
so Hungry Jack, he was hungry, and he was like, use me.
dude, I'm just this dude in the office like, man, I'm so hungry. Like, Jack, you're always hungry. Hungry Jack.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fantasy. So I love me some fantasy.
Why do you like fantasy then? Why? What's wrong with you?
I like dragons.
You like dragons? You just like dragons. Fuck fantasy.
I had a really depressing and stupid thought a couple of months back.
Yeah. Let me be the judge of it.
I was like,
It's horrible.
it dawned on me, like, obviously dragons are mythos. They're not real.
Obviously.
But growing up, there was always that part in my brain that was like, no, they could have existed. They would have just been, we would have killed them all.
Stupid.
Like in the fantasy world.
Yeah,
but then it occurred to me, like, man, if humans really were responsible, there would be, like, we'd find dragons.
Yeah, archaeologists would be.
Like, not even, like, archaeologists, but, like, the kings who would put their heads on the walls.
Oh, right, yeah.
There would still
Yeah.
be heads of dragons on kings' walls.
Imagine if our modern day monarchy did that still.
Yeah.
I say still. Like,
Well, they kind of do. Like, I've slain this rhino, here's his head.
That's horrible.
I know, I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
But that's how some people would have felt about dragons back then.
Yeah.
They would be like, no, not the dragons. Like, no, they're trying to hunt us.
Save
Like,
the
no.
dragons.
I'm sure there were lots of people saying save the dragons while the dragons were eating their young and burning their villages down.
Yeah.
Back in the 1800s when I assume.
Hey, dude,
I don't know.
That sounded like electricity was supposed to invent.
Oh, that's a long time before.
It's not really invented.
I don't know dates.
And I do.
You do?
Yeah.
What happened in the 1500s?
Probably I was 13 back then. So,
oh, really? What was going on? Did the Backstreet Boys release their first album?
Yeah, they did. It was called, no, it was Back Alley Boys. Because they didn't have...
They didn't have streets?
No,
okay.
they didn't really. Yeah, they were rolling the hay and bubonic plague was running.
Oh, right.
Rampant. Was that the 1700s? I can't remember. Medieval times.
Oh, right.
Just past the medieval. Medieval times was fantasy when you think of it. You got castles, you got swords,
orcs,
plagues,
elves,
plagues. That's all I know about the people. And
pinball.
The medieval times had horrible ways of torturing people.
So they did.
I'm pretty sure they made them watch Fire and Ice.
They were like,
over and over.
Here's this movie someone just made about a thing that happened last weekend.
It's more of a documentary.
Yeah. Back when that Necron tried to spread his jazz around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you say jazz?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I say jazz a lot.
I think you said jazz.
Okay, spread his jazz around. These are white pillars. That in Fire and Ice, there were ice pillars, making it clear.
Yeah.
Couple of white, and they were going.
They were going caw. Like their Transformers noise. Ah, caw.
What?
Whenever Megatron defeated, let's say, someone else, let's say he won, change. Mm-hmm. Optimus Prime would be like falling. And it goes.
Oh yeah. Can I just
a sound effect I remember from my childhood. Can you not read my notes?
All your notes.
For my eyes only. Read them as they are. Out loud.
Did you? Okay, what is this? Cold is from Necron. No, because you have no clothes.
Yeah, there's a quote. They're talking, and that blonde guy, Rod Stewart, was like to Chicky. She was like, "Oh, I'm cold," and he was like, "The cold's from Necron," and I was like, "No, it's because you got no clothes."
Oh, good point. If she was wearing clothes, she wouldn't be cold.
That's right.
I think she just wanted to get close to him. Batman guy who rescued blonde guy. How is that a bad thing?
Wait.
Batman guy who rescued blonde guy.
That was just for me to.
Oh, you were trying to remember that he was Batman?
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we I'm sorry, I've got hay fever. That's why I'm sneezing. That's why I'm breathing in with my nose. Sorry. Ass cracks, bad animation, running funny, weird slow-mo when kidnapping, one guy scream as he kills wolves. This is the worst notes. Where's a badass scene where dude killed bad dude? Necron's awkward. AVGN. Angry
Laugh.
Ah, right.
Yeah, that was the word I
It's
got
like-
stuck on before.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was AVGN too.
Yeah, talking about.
Give a shout out to the Angry Video Game Nerd. He's just starting his YouTube channel.
He hasn't just.
So we'll just help him along.
James Rolfe.
Yeah. He's my apprentice. He looks up to me a lot.
Oh, really? You don't mean the other way around?
What?
You just watched the movie, the AVGN movie, and you were telling me about it. And I was like, I want to see that
You
movie.
didn't make a movie.
Yeah, the AVGN.
You didn't.
The AVGN movie. About the E.T. video
You
game.
should really check out his movie. He needs
Shout
a
out to
hand.
James Rolfe,
He needs some help.
a.k.a. the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Huh?
He's been making movies for years.
He needs to get more views. So help him out, guys.
Can't even. Is there anything else fantasy you want to talk about? Oh yeah, it's Zelda month on Peanut Butter Gamer's channel, so check out Peanut Butter Gamer.
Yep, give him a hand.
Yep. And fantasy month. The reason
I should do something fantasy.
check out fantasy. Yeah, you should. That's why I said it's fantasy month. You got to do something fantasy.
Fantasy or Zelda?
Well, Zelda is fantasy. We discussed this.
Okay. Right.
Jeez, get with the program. One thing I did that I really love about the Zelda lore was the Garudas. How they only have a boy every million years or I could go on that way. It's my favorite song of the soundtrack. It's so good.
Everybody likes that song. I think it's overrated.
What?
I like... Yeah, you hit me. I like Ballad of the Goddess.
Which one's that one? Don't.
Okay, I'll do
Just sing it.
Okay. The Skyward Sword's main
Ah,
song.
right, that's right. You showed me that one. I didn't really play Skyward Sword this way. I don't really
Say it.
Another song I love, The Song of Storms.
That's a good one. Everybody! Thank you! So you can play keyboard?
Yeah, we can say this.
No, I was saying I can play keyboard.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You didn't say I can play keyboard.
I can barely play keyboard.
Me too, actually. I can just play the JonTron thing.
Well, there's nothing wrong with just being able to play something.
And I can play Under the Sea for Little Mermaid.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I can only play like parts of songs. Like I just learn the bit people know, and then that's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. It's okay. Fantasy month.
Yeah.
So, anyways, was there anything else fantasy related? I don't know. I'm trying to think of stuff that was fantasy that I liked growing up, apart from Zelda and like. I remember when I was a kid, grade 6 or 7, we had to read. It was probably 7. We had to do like a book report on a book, and they're like, and I was like, Goosebumps, and they're like, no, not allowed to be Goosebumps. I'm like, they're the only books I know. They're like, it's not best theme song. Have you heard the theme song recently?
No.
It is so good. It is really well done. I love it. Except for the bit where the dog goes, arf, 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 arf. That was ridiculous. But it's a really good song. Listen to it when you can. It's a good song. Plug for the Goosebumps theme song.
Yep. Check it out. Yeah.
Sponsored by Goosebumps. R.L. Stein.
He needs a bit of help.
He does.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they're like, you have to read something that's not Goosebumps. It's too childish. You have to read something. And I was like, I'm gonna find the biggest book we have. And I picked up The Hobbit.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I'm gonna read. And they're like, wow, you're reading The Hobbit. It's very advanced. I didn't read a page of it. I just
made it up.
I just bullshit the whole way through. I probably failed. I don't remember.
It was about a hobbit
And there was a dragon.
who did hobbity things.
I think I just read the back cover and guessed it.
That's pretty much my whole high school life. I just bullshitted through it.
Yeah, read the back cover.
Yeah.
That's
Do you know what boring book they got us to read?
Was it fantasy?
No.
What was it?
The Great Gatsby.
Yeah. I heard anything about that apart from there was a movie about it. Yeah.
It's boring.
Boring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. I've pretty much fantasized.
You fantasized?
Yeah, like I didn't really do
You're
much
just,
fantasy.
you're just not that much in a fantasy.
Like I have.
How many axes to the gut out of 10 was Fire and Ice for you?
Oh god. Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Oh, probably gave it half.
Half an axe out of 10?
Yeah, it's not even an axe.
What?
Yeah.
I expected at least 3 or something.
No, that's terrible.
Honestly, realistically, I'm going to give it a 4.
Wow.
Because I quite liked it. I thought it was charming. But I will admit it hasn't really aged well.
Yeah.
Your face is just so empathetic. Just like, oh, I'm so sorry for you. You thought it was good. There must be something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I thought it was charming.
Okay.
Worth a watch.
Alright.
But, you know.
It's not my cup of tea.
It's not your cup of tea.
Yeah. You know what is my cup of tea?
What's your cup of tea?
A good cup of tea. Amen.
And that's something we can both enjoy. Anyways, thank you for listening.
Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe.
If you got all this way through, thank you for listening. You, as always, you can check out the Sardonic Pickles channel.
I won't try to spell it this time.
Yeah, because I know you'll get it wrong.
Yeah.
But I'll put a link and a annotation, maybe. I'll put a box up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like what we're doing, subscribe, comment, tell me if you like fantasy and what's your favorite fantasy movie. And did you see Fire and Ice? And did you think it was absolute garbage, or did you think it was good? I want to point out again that this was recommended to me by Dominic Moschetti of Fantasy Fiction.
Sorry, Dom.
You don't have to apologize, okay?
Yeah.
Dom, I liked it. I doubt you're listening, but if you are, I liked it. I thought it was charming. But I prefer your stories that you tell on fantasy fiction much better.
Yeah.
If you want to hear some good fantasy fiction. Link
And the thing. Yes.
And yeah, like, comment, subscribe.
Please do.
Helps.
Please do. It really does. And share.
And share.
Like herpes.
That's
Yeah.
not.
A lot of YouTubers and stuff don't say share.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them don't. But it really helps if you share.
It does, it does.
Do you want to hear my horrible American accent?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, alright. I'm going down the road to catch a bus.
Keep in mind that accent came from a New Zealander who has an Australian accent, who lives in Australia.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Thank you for that.
I can't even do a New Zealand accent.
If you like that accent, or if you didn't like it, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends.
Yeah. Share.
Share, and,
Yeah. Can you do an American accent?
well, I can do an American accent if you want me to.
Way better than me.
Well, thank you.
Alright.
Alright. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
So what are we going to talk about next week?
Zombies?
Zombievers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I watched a movie called Zombievers, and I gave it to him, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping he watches it and enjoys it.
So far, I haven't liked the movies you've given me. Except,
You like
except
Dragon Ball. Okay.
I was going to say, as much as you. Like, there wasn't much difference between Dragon Ball Like, you liked it, I liked it, but you loved it, I liked it.
Yeah, yeah.
That sort of thing.
Whereas
I hated Fire and Ice, and you...
I
love
didn't
but-
hate it.
Yeah.
I appreciated it for what it was.
Yeah.
For a 1983 tale of fantasy. And next week,
We're going to zombie it up.
Zombievers, a movie about zombie beavers.
Should check it out before we do it, so you can know what we're talking about.
Know what we're talking about. I know you guys are going to enjoy it because I don't know. If you listen to this, then you must like things that are ridiculous. And so listen to watch Zombievers. Don't just listen to it. Watch it. It'll make a lot more sense to you if you watch it. And yeah, I think I think it's gonna be good. We'll get together and talk about that next week. All right.
Be nice, people. Be nice. Be happy.
Be cool. Be safe. Be rad. That's a tagline Curly Jones made up.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys have a great one.
Alright.
Talk to you next week.
I love you all.
Me too, actually. No, we went through this last week. Not you, them.
Yeah.
Alright.
Peace. Bye.
Bye.
Could close it now. Hang on. Just over there.